going to.
Hello.
Hello.
I can see.
Yes, it's me. What do I? What do I do now?
I've been forgetting.
Been forgetting my name.
I've been forgetting to do everybody's pronouns. I've been so out of it today.
Oh,
But
what happened?
I I don't know. Well, because so I this is my own fault for doing hybrid protocols. Previously, I would always type up everybody's info up on the screen, and then we moved to the new system so that I could play video games, and we just use the guest text. But then now, out of because we're doing a weird hybrid stream today where we're having a couple of guests, and then we're like a
Oh,
couple of
wrong thing.
creator guests. Then so now I'm like doing halfway, and I keep messing up my own protocol.
Oh,
But see, we have it at see that the guest text on the chat is working fine.
nice.
Oh, real quick, an announcement before we get to talking. The sign up form will be opened up in 5 minutes. So if you want to sign up, go ahead and grab onto that sign up form. All right.
Yes.
Welcome, Lucy.
Hello.
Welcome. It
Hello.
is
Hello.
wonderful to see you and hear from you. How are you doing
Yes.
today?
Pretty okay. I had a debate.
A debate?
Yes, I don't have
a
many.
debate with who?
With a streamer called Food Shops.
Food shops?
Yeah.
Food shops? Why the fuck you need to buy your food in a shop? If I had my way, there wouldn't be a single fucking food shop on this planet. There would just be food distribution centers.
I would like that, but right now I have to buy my food in shops. It's unfortunate,
Yeah,
but
well. So food shops won is what you're saying?
uh, well, it's more like as always with me, the debate turned into a conversation.
Well, that's all. That's kind of a talent, though, right? To be able to diffuse.
Sort
You
of.
can use that
Well,
to
it's
great
not
power.
as much as I diffuse as it never gets fused to begin with.
Oh, boy, there's a lot of discourse going on in the chat immediately about this person.
I
Okay,
know.
so, all right, tell me. Okay, so
I
what
can
did you debate
imagine
about? What did you debate
genocide.
about? Oh, oh, okay. So there was like a 50-50 with as far as which direction that could have gone as to what you were debating about, and both of them were bad, and it ended up being genocide.
What
Yeah, actually,
was
in
one of the
fact,
topics you thought the genocide?
I assumed. I don't know much about food shops. In fact, I only know about two things about food shops,
Mm-hmm.
and both of them,
Well,
let's just
I think
say
I
they're
know
both.
what
Yeah,
one
there's
of them is.
genocide, and there's another one. Yeah, there's
Yeah, I
another
know
one
the other
that's
one. I am
yeah,
familiar, unfortunately.
yeah. So okay, so genocide. That's great. Everybody knows that genocide is the best topic to try and make money off of on the internet.
Yes, I mean
Yeah,
that is the thing that I'm reading about all the time now, nonstop.
is genocide. Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
8 books.
okay, but to be fair, when I say make money off it on the internet, I don't mean talking about it in like a scholarly and educational fashion, and also making a living doing that. I mean going, all right, everybody, we're coming down here to throw down about the genocide. How many people died? How many are dying? Should they be dying? Today on the debate show. That kind of thing.
Well, it wasn't that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
The-
it didn't turn out that way.
the-
It has been in the past. I've seen it myself, but
Oh,
you know.
I mean it's another debate under my belt. I think it's my third or something.
Wow. Well, I hope it went well.
It won with
And
Loner Box as well.
oh, you had one with Lunderbuck? Wait, already? I
Yes.
can't.
No,
Okay.
it's an old one. It was about it was about when the Holocaust started, when it became a
Oh, yeah.
genocide, and also a bit about the
Ooh,
genocide.
that's an old one. I remember that. Okay, I do remember this now. It's coming back to me.
But that one
that would've
also
been
turned into a conversation from debate.
Yeah, well, Hey, sometimes that's for the best. Sometimes that's for the best.
Yes.
To be fair, I also had a debate that turned into a conversation.
Today?
And yeah, no, that was on Friday. When I went on Deep Fat Fried with TJ Kirk and Paul
I saw it.
Zigo and yeah,
The AI.
and Scotty Kirk. Yeah, I had a good time. But we started debating about AI, and then we kind of calmed down and talked about other things.
And
Like
then you
Trump
talked
and
about
all that.
Bush. I
Yeah,
did
Bush and
a
Trump, but it wasn't super debatey. It was more like a conversation. It got a little debatey at times, but
I even did a short talking about Bush and Trump. Wait a minute. You want the short? Would you like to see the short?
Yeah, sure.
Clip. No, it's a clip. It's a clip.
You gonna share your screen to us?
Oh, how do I do that? Wait, hold on.
You
1 second.
you might have to DM it to me, and we might have to watch
Yeah,
it
I'm
later.
gonna.
But
I'm gonna. I'm
all
just
right, you can
gonna.
send it to me, and
Where
if you
is it?
DM it to me on Discord, then you can send
There's
it to me.
so many things here. What Herzl said about spreading Zionism. Great minds. Sunday is incorrect. Your viewers are troglodytes. I'm just
Oh,
reading out the names of the short, the clips. I'm not
you
making
have
the
some
names.
avid clippers, I have to say. I receive a good amount of Lucy clips on a pretty
Yeah.
regular basis, and there's some pretty damn good ones. You got a talent. You got a talent for the short form, I have to say.
Yes. Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. You can listen to it on the stream because it's
All right,
mainly
we'll have to hit it up later because it'll be a little difficult for me to play now. But
here. It's here. Boom.
yeah. So what have you? So besides the debate, what have you been up to lately?
Well, I've been reading about genocide.
Well, that makes sense given the debate.
No, I'm preparing for loner box again.
Oh, you're gonna talk again.
Yes, about the
Oh,
Holodomor.
oh. Okay, so hit me with your. All right. Well, I don't want you to give away all your secrets, but you want to tell me your position?
Yes, it's a genocide.
Yeah. I think that's a fairly. I think that's a fairly. Uh, I don't know. I think that's a fairly reasonable position.
Well, loner
I've heard a
boxes
couple
is
of debates about it,
loner
but yeah.
boxes is that there's not enough evidence to, um, you know, intent is not sort of established, and my argument is that it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard people go back and forth on it. It's never a topic that I've really jumped into because I haven't been super invested in arguing over it in the past, but I can absolutely see why you would. Well, you'll have to let me know when you're doing that debate.
Yes,
Um,
I'm reading a book
I'll be honest, I haven't been watching very much
of
of.
me.
Well, no, I haven't been watching very much of any type of political content. I've been in my off time. I've been avoiding a lot of political content. In fact, recently I've mostly been watching internet comment etiquette and then Chariot's uh, Titanic 4-part Dark Souls 2 guide. That's what's
Oh,
been taking up my free time lately. Has been watching the Dark Souls 2 guide, learning how to be smart and enjoy Dark Souls 2, and then laughing at internet comment guy,
well,
who's very funny, by the way. If you've never watched, like, not that he needs any help, his channel is insanely popular.
I need
But
help.
if you've never seen internet comment etiquette, legendary.
I mean, I'm not sure if I'm into learning how to be smart. I'm not sure if that's my thing.
Yeah, you don't know if you want to. You're smart enough already.
No,
Is
I'm
what you're saying.
just, being smart is not my thing.
I see. I see. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I'm taking a look at your background, and I'm getting some mixed messages about that. I don't know. You got there's a lot of words in there.
Yes, I've inherited it. It's like a multi-generational library thing.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah.
My grandfather's from my mother's side, and I think there are books from her boyfriend that she's been with for 10 years, language books, because mom used to be with some guy that was learning 10 languages when she was
Wow.
in
Did he
in
succeed?
high school, and I mean he was learning them, and they were together for 10 years, and I asked, so why did it end? And she said, oh, he got boring.
Oh, damn. He needed 11 languages. That would have done
He
it.
got boring, so
Damn. 10 languages learned and still he couldn't what's the
he
thing?
couldn't
God
keep the
damn it, I
girl.
can't. Yeah, he couldn't keep it. He couldn't do it. Couldn't cut it.
So
Damn.
yes, I've been reading the book called Final Solutions, Genociders and Their Work. That's
That's
One
a
can
hell of a title. Oh my
can
god.
show it. It shows a person who is holding the remains of his family in his hands.
Oh, that is terribly depressing.
And it's written by a Polish Jewish author, a very famous war journalist. He spoke with the perpetrators of the Rwanda and the Bosnian genocide.
Oh my god. Wow. Well, sounds like a very heavy read, but probably incredibly informative.
Yes.
Um,
And
Grim
then
work, but necessary nonetheless.
and then two chapters of this are actually sort of dedicated to the Holodomor specifically. I am
Wow.
reading in order to get into the mind of the perpetrator, the new biography of Stalin by Oleg Klevnyuk. Here, this is the.
Damn.
And I've learned that
Stalin.
Stalin's sort of Georgian nickname taken from his name is Soso.
Sosa?
Yeah, little Soso.
Huh.
And his mom's sort of Georgian nickname is Keke.
Keka?
Yeah.
Hmm.
K-E, K-E. K-E-K-E. So Soso and Keke.
That's
Her name was.
incredibly unique information to know about Stalin,
Yes.
I will say.
His mom's name was Catherine Keke.
Ah, okay, all right, that makes sense. Well, do you feel like you've gotten into the mind of Stalin yet?
Well, I'm still in his beginning years of being a revolutionary. I'm not super far into it yet, but yeah, I think I've gotten. I mean, my father had a weird obsession over Hitler and Stalin, so he made me read a comparative biography of Hitler and Stalin when I was in, like, when I was like.
I'm sorry. A comparative biography of Hitler and Stalin. That is so conceptually funny to me.
So I've
Hitler
read.
versus Stalin.
So I've read it when I
Go.
was like, I mean, I think, gosh, 11 or 12.
Damn, that's a hell of a book to make you read at 11.
I mean, I on my own read the book when I was 7 or 8. I read the book "We Children of the Zoo Station."
Yeah.
Do you
I
know
don't know.
"We
I'm not familiar
Children"?
with it. No.
It's a
Mm-mm.
German book. It's a book about a girl in the 70s
Uh-huh.
who was 13, and due to the circumstances in 70s in Germany and a difficult household, got into drugs and then into child prostitution to pay for the drugs.
Whew. That sounds also extremely grim, and also,
Yes.
yeah.
It's like
Well,
a biographical book
uh-huh.
because it actually really happened. The person is real. All the
Yeah.
things actually happened to the person, and the rest of the book was, I think, written from the perspective of the mom of the girl, of the therapist, and someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And then years later, as
Yeah.
an adult, I learned that the person was had her custody of her child taken away because she relapsed back into drugs.
That's really, really sad.
Yeah, it's really weird to read about a person as a child and then sort of by at by random chance read news about that person.
Yeah, that is pretty strange. Wow. Well, that sounds like a hell of a lineup of things to think about and read that you've got on your mind, and the fact that you're able to smile at all at the moment tells me that you have a robust soul that is resistant to the horrors of the world, because you're basically dipping yourself into them in maximum velocity. Uh, 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 yeah, that's stay strong, okay? Don't overdo it. Don't hurt yourself. That sounds like a lot to read and deal with.
Well, there is also where is this? Oh my gosh, what other books am I? Because I'm reading 8 in total. There's the book. Oh, one's in English actually. Bloodlands.
English referenced.
Yes, Bloodlands. Europe Between Hitler and Stalin by Timothy Snyder.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Well, by the end of this, you're gonna know these motherfuckers like better than anybody else.
That's right. Under Hitler and Stalin, the Nazi and Soviet regimes murdered 14 million people in the bloodlands between Berlin and Moscow.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So the killing fields extended from central Poland to western Russia. So I hail from the bloodland.
Wow. Well, that's very metal, I will say. It sounds
Yes.
like you come from a Dark Souls zone.
Yes, I hail
But,
from the bloodlands.
the
And
Bloodlands, yeah.
I mean, my family was
Lucy
during
of
those.
the Bloodlands.
Yes. What else?
There's a little summon sign pops up at the beginning of this call, and I just clicked on it and pressed A, and then Lucy of the Bloodlands went.
That's right. The blooded duck.
Yeah, the blood duck.
And then you have the book Peace with a View on War
Okay.
by the same author who wrote the book about the genocides. This is this is the history of Israel.
Wow.
The Peace with the book on war. And I've also been yes, there's this book, The Great Hunger in Ukraine, but this is just a collection of primary sources.
Wow.
And also I've been
Well, that one has an unassuming cover. That one just got a little piece of grain on it.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, wheat. What could be so scary about wheat?
Yeah, and I've also
And
been
then-
looking into the homelessness.
Homelessness? Damn.
The criminalization
okay.
of homelessness.
You need to. I think you need to pick a happy subject. I think you need to pick a happy subject to be able to touch on. You need a book on like puppy socializing or something. To like
Yes,
balance things out just
I've
a
been
little
reading
bit.
a 60 pages document
Okay, you know
about
you're not exactly beating the Polish allegations right now, you know.
what are
no
the
offense,
Polish
but
allegations.
The stereotype of Polish people
What's the stereotype?
is that you're like you have like the most grim world, and that you dip yourselves into the grimmest things, like maybe intentionally, maybe not intentionally. That's like the perspective that a lot of Americans have, is like, damn, Polish people really love that dark shit. And you're not exactly beating the allegations right now. You're like, oh yeah, I'm just doing some light readings. We got Hitler and Stalin. We got a book with a guy holding his own dead relatives. We got like a stack this big of books about like death and destruction. Gotta say, not beating the allegations right now.
But I've been reading about the lack of. This one's about the U.S. The lack of publicly run toilets, which creates
that is a real problem.
Which creates a paradox, because there aren't enough public run toilets to accommodate the homelessness needs, which means that the homeless are forced to urinate and defecate in public, right? Because there are no toilets. But since it's criminalized, it's basically ends up in de facto criminalizing the existence of the homeless.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's actually like a super prevalent. Basically, anybody who lives in the U.S. will tell you it's fucking difficult as fuck to find public bathrooms in the U.S. It's like a nightmare.
Yeah, and
it's genuinely so awful.
There's a fine for urinating and and doing other business in public, and since most, like, a homeless person can't just pay, I don't know, $500 fee for peeing in public. Instead, they land in jail. So it's like a way to just make it illegal to be homeless.
Yep. Yeah, it's absolutely deranged. And
I covered the new Kentucky bill put forward by the Satan Party, the Grand Old Party.
Oh yeah, the excuse me, I take great offense to them being compared to my kind.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, the GOP is. I was just talking about Riverboat Jack about how unwell the current state of the GOP is in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we're very unlucky in one way, which is that the Democratic Party is a giant flaming pile of garbage as well. But the Republican Party is basically screaming at every cloud that they see and then shooting a gun at it. That's like their mental state.
Speaking
right
of
now.
guns,
just like,
the Kentucky bill will allow people to confront the homeless with a gun without any repercussions.
Oh, that sounds very reasonable, and like that won't have any negative
For
consequences
example,
whatsoever.
if they sleep on quote unquote their territory. So if for example, if a homeless person sleeps in their car, a person can come out and confront them with a gun.
That's terrible and inhuman.
Yeah,
Um, I look forward to a day when the GOP no longer exists in this world. That's all I'll say.
yeah. This
I
I
genuinely think it's one of the most evil institutions to ever exist. The amount
yeah.
of mechanized fucking misery that organization has put out in its history is almost
I
beyond
mean,
compare.
you don't even have to look to history. That's another
Yeah,
clip
right
that I
now.
have
Yeah.
listing the grand old party, like from the beginning. Ukraine should be abandoned. Ukrainians should die. Europe should it be attacked? It should be abandoned. It should die. Taiwan should it be attacked? That's Trump, but Trump's
Yeah.
basically the face of the grand old party.
Yeah. It is pretty bad.
Taiwan, it should be abandoned. The homeless, they should be shot or arrested. The LGBT, they should be shot.
Yeah.
I,
That's basically his
that's the GOP,
Well,
the
by the
Republican
way,
Party.
if you're listening right now, please consider donating because there is absolutely no goddamn way in hell that this VOD is ever going to be monetized either. This makes about 15 VODs in a row that won't be monetized. So if you want to help me make a living, please consider throwing a tip into the jar because otherwise I don't make any money. But anyway,
True. All of my
yeah,
videos have the yellow sign.
yeah. I'm lucky if I get a yellow. Half the time I get a fucking red.
Yeah?
But
I got
yeah,
a
no.
red on my one of my videos. It was unboxing books.
What?
Yes. I got a red
That's
on
weird. That's really weird.
because I used the knife to open the box.
No, never show the knife on stream.
I could show a
You
sword
can you
now.
have to just imply it. You can show a gun, but you can't show a knife. That's
I
how America
can I
works.
show a sword?
I don't know about that. So that's
It's a
depends on the
dull
length.
sword. It's not sharp.
No, they can't tell.
I mean, I could do that with the hand on the sword.
It's a knife. So you're a duck running around with a knife, and you just expect YouTube to monetize that?
Yes. It's
Yeah,
fun content. It's
yeah.
family content.
Family friendly. Yeah, listen, you mutilating that poor box that contained a book in it was unfair. But YouTube serving weird like revenge porn
Like
ads to children is totally fine.
today, I had a weird moment in the debate with food shops. A
Uh
really
oh.
strange moment.
All
Because
right.
I'm arguing that what's happening in Ukraine now is a genocide, in my opinion. That Russia is waging a genocidal war against Ukraine. You know?
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
So I cited that children being transferred from one group to the other, that's one point in the UN Convention, and other atrocities. And I didn't expect that sort of response from food shops when she said, "Well, yes, we have the genocidal rhetoric from Russia. We have the transference of children from one group to the other. But do we know if the Russians really mean it?"
Yeah. Totally. It's kind of wild. I always find it funny people downplaying Russia, uh, having like watched the Russian, watched Putin's like addresses when this whole thing began,
Yeah,
and just remembering all of that, how he was talking about how
all
like,
the historical
this is our,
inaccuracy.
yeah, the rebirth of the Russian Empire, like motioning
Yeah,
towards that stuff. It's just like, dude, no, it's so obvious exactly what he wants to do here.
yeah.
I don't know. It's
I've
just
even been asked at
just
one
wonder
point
about.
of this discussion, so should Ukraine lose, do you think you're next?
Yeah. Oh.
I unfortunately believe so.
You think Poland's next?
Well, maybe after Lithuania or something.
Yeah. Well, I hope it never gets to that point. That would be.
We'll see. The
Uh,
Grand Old Party is doing all it can to make it happen.
yeah. Wow.
With the blocked aid, with the tying the border issue to the Ukraine issue.
Yeah. Well, I
Oh, and
I wish I could say there was a I wish I could say there was a better opposition But
on Trump
unfortunately, we're stuck with
saying,
Snoozy Joe.
we actually should just forget about any compromise with the border deal. I want to actually campaign on it, so
Yeah.
I want to campaign on it. So let's not actually make a deal.
Oh, depressing state of affairs. Politics is so depressing.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
that's why I cover it.
What's that?
That's why I cover it all the time.
That's what I'm talking about. You're doing it again.
That's right.
So Polish people have just an inverted thing where sadness makes them happy and happiness makes them sad. Is that what you're admitting to here? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're
Yeah.
admitting to here?
I mean, what else would I read about? Oh yes, I've started
What
reading.
else did you read about? God damn it! There's so many things in the world.
I started reading. I'm gonna wait one moment, okay? I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna bring it.
No, oh no, it's gonna be the most depressing yet, isn't it? I swear I'm being trolled at this point. Lucy is completely trolling me. There's no way.
Okay, so it's an 800 pages brick. It's a thick one.
You're gonna flip it up and there's gonna be a dead person on the cover.
Fascism, genocide, cult, Stepan Bandera,
Oh.
life and
Yeah.
myth of the Ukrainian nationalist.
Oh, yeah.
It's a.
Okay, it's got a very nice cover, but
It's the first
nicely
academic
designed.
biography of Stepan Bandera.
Oh, that guy. I know that guy. I know that name.
Yeah, Uon and Upa.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
think
put
he
it
was
here.
he's an actor, right? He's a movie actor.
A movie actor. I mean, depends on how you define an actor.
No, I'm just kidding. There's a famous actor who has a similar last name. I was just making a dumb joke.
So yes.
Yeah. Look, I consider myself someone who quite likes dark media and am more than willing to look into the face of terrifying things. But you put me in my fucking soft and watery American existence next to your average Polish person, and it's just like, oh, like I eat landmines for fun, like, oh, like it's great, it's wonderful. I have a good time. My day feels better when I watch a video of live combat or some shit. What the fuck?
I've been doing
It's like
book
just
reading on
every.
stream.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Well, what?
You know, I've been doing a book readings on stream. I've been
No, I
reading
know
a
you
book
do
with
book
you.
readings on stream. I don't know what you've been reading on stream, but I'm
I've
sure it's
been.
something
I've
that's gonna
read.
give me nightmares
It's
just from thinking of it.
about the. Because after the war, Poland was gobbled up by the Eastern Bloc,
Uh-huh.
and so it's about Nazi trials in Soviet Bloc Poland after the war.
Nice.
Yes.
I imagine that's a real knee slapper. I feel you're probably laughing a lot when you're reading that, right?
Yes.
Having a lot of funny moments.
Yes.
Get yeah, a
a
little
lot of
soundboard
puns.
for yeah, a lot of yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
I do not reject it. I do not reject it, Aska. It's just listen. I'm getting misery flexed on right now. Okay, this is something I'm not usually used to. Okay. Yeah, I'm not used to getting into a phone call and then someone just rolling out. Look at how many books that will give you like that would kill like a Victorian child if they even looked at the cover of it and just like I'm reading 8 of these at the same time right now.
Maybe I should be more a person of action. There's a Belarusian Polish crisis on the border now, so I could go there and see what's happening and
And
do some
film, yeah.
filming.
Please stay safe. I'm not challenging you to be even more. I'm not challenging you to gain any more proximity to the darkness, Lucy. I'm not. I'm actually encouraging you to do the opposite.
The opposite. What do you mean?
Stay safe. Breathe some fresh air. Smell some nice flowers. Enjoy some beauty. Don't only plow through the suffering, okay?
It's
No, stop encouraging me. I don't need any more sadness.
reading is beautiful. It's beautiful
Reading
to
is,
read.
yes, reading is beautiful, but you're using that to mask another fact here, okay? Yes, reading as a whole is beautiful.
Oh,
Oh, look, everyone in chat's agreeing with you.
yeah.
But they're all frauds. They're all they're all frauds.
So yes, and also
Aska
I've
says
been.
Mama needs to visit Poland in winter. Listen, in the future, I'll do a whole. I'll come visit. I'll come visit as much as I can, as much as I can. That's not an active war zone, okay?
Yes.
And
Oh,
I
you're
say that
expecting Poland to be invaded soon. Oh my
no,
God.
no. I'm just saying. I meant most of the
Whoa.
entire eastern side of Europe. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'll do it. And guess what? You can't even make fun of me for that because guess what? My fucking half of our country might be a war zone by this time next year. We don't know what's going on. Texas is out of here, and Texas is like
All
most
right.
of the landmass of the United. So
There's the situation in Texas. I actually forgot that it's ongoing. I actually forgot that the Supreme Court has been like, whatever.
yeah, they're like, yeah, I don't know. It's really funny that I'm glad I decided to do my RV trip this last year because I'm pretty sure it's going to be like extreme. I'm going to need like a passport and 16 security checkpoints to do it this time next year. So, you know,
What a
I'm
beautiful precedent that will send if nothing's done about it. Oh,
oh yeah, it's
we're
incredible,
we're
right?
doing this law that will basically ban all trans people, and the Supreme Court does not agree. Well,
Yeah, who cares? Yeah, it's genuinely the fact that so this is the thing like we've talked at multiple points in the last 4 years or so on this show about the growing and sort of there's like a loud buzz at all times in the background of American politics, and that's the ongoing constitutional crisis. And I haven't talked about this in a long time because I've been doing a lot of other things, but I used to talk about this a lot how the way that Trump and the GOP was going about politics was basically undermining the idea that any of our politics means anything at all,
mm,
and instead sort of caving away to fascistic whimsy of strongmen. And
yeah.
I feel like that's where we're at right now. That and I'm not a liberal. I'm not all like rule of law and the American Constitution and all
Mm-hmm,
that proceduralism. I'm not all about that kind of stuff. But I think
mm-hmm.
we can acknowledge that like the state of affairs is that increasingly more and more areas of the United States are just convinced that none of it really fucking matters at all,
I
and you
mean,
win by
the
throwing your
GOP
weight
mainly.
around with guns. Yeah, yeah. GOP primarily. Yep.
Like
So it's I
the
look forward. I look forward to getting drafted into the Free Cascadian militia, and I know that I will fight to protect the border against the cruel Idaho Texas allegiance in the
yeah.
future. I'm prepared. I know that I will be. I know that I will die to for the pine tree flag and whatnot and all that nonsense. I'm quite sure of it. We know the Pacific State Alliance is going to happen. Free Cascadia and the Imperium of California under gruesome Gavin Newsom is almost assured. And let's just say that our we have our people here in Free Cascadia. We love freedom. We love beauty. We like the fact that there are trees that can give us air. The troglodytes of Texas, they breathe sand. They ever smell is the smell of pump jacks and oil refineries. They have no culture. They've got nothing going for them, and they're from Texas is flowing this like a billowing smoke cloud, the just disgustingness. I'm prepared. See,
What a
I'm already
sad
practicing my
moment
propaganda.
to what a
Yeah,
sad moment to mention that I've got family in Texas.
I'm so sorry. But
In
get
Austin,
them out get them
Texas.
out when you can.
It's called the
Okay,
Good
all right.
Texas.
Austin is like one of the holdouts. Okay, they're the resistance. That's like I don't know, it's like Alderaan or something. Wait, that's a bad comparison to make.
Yeah, but I don't know the way things are going. Like the whole army ban is starting to sound like some sort of a mild thing when Trump is promising to just ban all trans people altogether if he wins. You promised it several times that you will just ban everything, all transition, everything. He'll just ban via 10 executive orders. I don't know.
Again, I stand strong for free Cascadia. Come to our green lands and
That's
we
the
at least our state constitution. Hey, we have trans rights in our state constitution. Free
that's
Cascadia will stand
that's
strong against the
that's
encroaching.
actually one of the points of your debate that made me sort of like go what, and my sort of blood pressure rise
Which
when
part?
Paul said, "Well, you know, trans people might have it bad, but have you considered how bad it was in the 90s when trans
Oh
people were
yeah,
the butt of the joke?" And I was like,
it's
"Excuse
like a
me?
very different. It's like a very
Excuse me?"
different. Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of a difference between being the butt of a joke, which will hurt me, and like it's not nice, and then being legislated out of existence. I think those
Yeah.
are a little bit different, you know?
Yeah, thankfully he didn't hold too hard to that point. He backed off of that one. I do think he was a little misunderstanding the scope because
Yeah,
no, it's there are things that have gotten better for trans people. Some like life conditions are better. HRT is easier to access most of the country, even in red states. A little bit easier for now.
if they can mine today,
Obviously,
let's see.
Obamacare out ruled out pre-existing conditions and stuff like that. But uh yeah, the fixation on trans people, I mean, fuck, it's like, I mean, god damn it, like every single culture war thing on the right is obsessing over trans people
Yeah,
and trying to muster hate and violence towards us. And yeah, it's not the same as it used to be. Sure, there was a passive random bigotry that would appear very rarely in media when people were writing an insensitive or joke or whatever. But the average person just didn't think about that type of shit. It was actually, fairly and there were, like I said, there were some things that were worse. Like access to HRT was worse, and that's a really bad thing.
yeah.
But um
I
but it was
mean,
possible at that time for changes to be made in the right direction because there wasn't a mobilizing culture war that's trying to make it impossible, that's
yeah,
trying to make us a active enemy. It's yeah, things were bad in the 90s, things were bad in the 80s, things were bad in the 70s, but they were different. And it's important to recognize the difference between a sort of a malaise of ignorance and bigotry and a lack of access to a active campaign
okay.
of eliminationism.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And I didn't think in the 90s we were quite as flooded with bills,
yeah.
with legislation. But, and again, today, because today's debate was genocide, so of course I touched upon the topic of the trans genocide because why not?
Yeah.
And the argument
Why not?
was
For a treat. It's like a
yes,
cherry on top of a
yes,
Polish sundae.
yes. And the
Yeah.
argument from food shops, the part was, but they're not saying their intent is not to eliminate trans people as a group. They say they're doing it to protect the children. To
Oh,
which
that's complete
to
bullshit
which
too.
to which I said,
Yeah.
well, we have to finish that sentence. We have to protect the children from what? From trans people existing, which
Yeah.
basically
From
means we
being
want to
trans themselves.
which basically means
Yeah.
we want to eliminate the group. We could easily turn back the clock and change the phrase from we want to kill Jewish people to we just want to protect the German people from Jewish people.
Yeah. Well, let me just double check on our time here. I haven't been keeping good track of the time. Let me just double
Which
check and see how
means you're
we're doing.
having fun even though the topic is
True, we went
grim.
15 minutes over, which is fun. Even though, yeah, of course I'm having fun. I quite like talking to you. I told you. Listen, just because my misery tolerance isn't as high as yours doesn't mean it's non-existent. Okay,
So
you
are you saying
don't flex
talking to
too
me
hard there. All right.
tests your misery limits?
No, not at all. In fact, I quite like talking to you. But let's be real. The topic of conversation has been fairly dark.
I mean, maybe you
We have to.
can lead the topic now.
Well, I could, but but you're on here to talk about what you want to talk about. That's the whole point of a single night. It's not for
true,
me to
but
blabber about everything.
it's true, but
I'm supposed to just crack jokes and keep the flow going. Anyway,
okay.
well, we should probably wrap now because we do have we have a number of other callers who are now waiting. We've started to
Hmm.
open stuff, but Lucy, thank you so very much for coming on,
Thank you.
and seriously, don't overdo it, okay? Don't break yourself under all that darkness. I know that you're doing the Bane line. I was born in it, molded by
True.
it. You know, you're doing that right now, but still, you know.
Plus, I
All right.
cry a
Thank
lot
you.
because of the HRT.
Well, maybe that's good though. That could be catharsis, right?
I,
HRT does it will make you cry a little more, or at least a little easier.
yes.
Anyway, can you shout yourself out real quick?
Yes. You should all come to, especially the page lucyhazet.org/live, and you should all subscribe and donate.
Please do. Lucy is amazing, and you all
And
should go
I'm now
flock over there.
a big streamer, 1,104 subscribers.
Yeah, congratulations, growing every day.
Yes,
It's wonderful to see.
I try.
Why am I getting roasted? Hold on, why am I getting
What
roasted in chat?
happened?
Who's roasting me?
What happened?
Okay, true, nasty, true. Okay.
Oh, what happened?
We'll talk about that in a minute, nasty. Anyway, nothing. I'm getting roasted by the other Eastern European folk in chat.
Oh, what did
They're
they
all
say?
they're
Or
saying, "Oh, Pathologic 2 is my favorite game ever. Oh, recommend Dark and Darker or not Dark and Darker. Fear and Hunger, all the shit that all the dark insane garbage, demented
and
shit that I
Stalker.
recommend to people to go read." Yeah, well, Stalker's gotten okay to be. Well, I don't know actually. I have played Stalker. It's pretty dark. But anyway, thank you so much for coming on. It's
Thank
been
you.
wonderful, and we will talk again. I know we will for
Thank
sure in
you
the
very
future.
much.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye
Bye
for now.
bye.